Newland, who is a business leader in supply chain, retail, and commerce. And today we're going to discuss managing and leading supply chain teams. So, Graham, could you first provide a brief background of yourself?
Yes, thank you, Dustin. I've been working in the supply chain now for some 35 years globally. I've worked in a range of industries, specifically around retail, e-commerce, wholesale, and many manufacturing companies worldwide for many of the leaders. And today, I'm actually the Chief Customer Officer for a Swedish company who focus very much on providing supply chain improvements and supply chain technology globally. But I also run a consulting practice that looks at how to make supply chain improvements and how to make your supply chain more effective. As over the years, I've run supply chains as a chief operating officer and a supply chain director for a number of leading retailers and wholesalers.
And can you talk about what is involved in managing and leading supply chain teams?
In doing this, I think it's really, really important to actually have very good leadership, very clear vision of what you want to achieve, and to actually manage and to lead supply chain teams effectively now, you really have to paint a great picture of what good looks like, which is normally focusing on your customers and what value means to them, what is important to them, listening to that customer, and then being able to coach your team, who are often distributed over many locations, often over many geographies, to be focused on that clear vision and that clear goal and what success looks like, and to work at that absolutely every day and every week in terms of making that effective by listening to the customer, taking feedback, measuring success through very clear key performance indicators which are relevant to your customer, relevant to your strategy, and making sure that you're always striving to get better. And if there are any problems, to understand the root causes and very quickly manage those and get better. And I always find, if you've got the right talent and the right people and that right communication, if you can get the vision and the measurement right and measure in process as you go forward, you've got yourself a pretty good foundation to be successful.
And how is it done effectively?
In terms of making this effective, I think there are many aspects. One very key aspect is getting the right people on board. And when I interview, I very much look at attitude, because I think if you get the right attitude, you can always train and coach people around skills and what success looks like. So I like people with a range of skills. They care about performance and customers. They're respectful, so they can be very diplomatic, but at the same time, they're always looking to do better, to get things right first time. They challenge the status quo and get their sleeves rolled up as part of a team to achieve the success as we go forward. And that team means they work with their colleagues, they work with customers, they work with suppliers with common objectives, common language, and always looking at what the vision and what those KPIs that we've signed up to, which are very customer focused, are doing. So, they have great judgment and great decision making. And I often use techniques like using the judgment index to make sure I'm getting the right kind of people who are able to make decisions under pressure, and also looking at the impact across the whole supply chain rather than their particular area. So, to summarize, you're looking at great talent, great communications, people who collaborate really well, build bridges, but are also very analytical. That way they can look at demand, they can look at their projected performance. They're always forward looking, 30, 60, 90 days ahead, for example. And I think when you've got that, providing you've got that framework of coaching and mentoring from the leadership with clear vision and clear feedback, clear measurement, which is looked at and acted upon frequently, so at least weekly, then I think you build momentum, and you build a high performing team, even if they are distributed over many locations. So all of those are the key ingredients for me, Dustin.
And can you share any success stories or any examples of success?
I've been involved in a number of areas. So, for example, just a short while back, acting as Chief Operating Officer and Supply Chain Director at the Liberty Group. That's an internationally famous retailer, wholesaler of high quality products, and also a manufacturer. By working together with our partners overseas, by working together with people in different countries in our operation, we had people in Brazil, America, Japan, China, Italy, for example. By taking that approach, we more than doubled our gross margin. We doubled our customer service for our major customers. We'd improved our on time. We cut our lead times by over 50%. And with our suppliers, we took away the standard contracts and introduced our KPIs and SLAs, and performance and quality went up because they understood what was important to our customers, what was important to us. And so we were sharing information and collaborating very well. And that transformation took place in a very, very short period of time. And, that was a very powerful example of what you can do by bringing together a range of talent in different countries, clear vision, and collaborating well together, and always looking at challenging that status quo and working with people to identify how can we do it better. It's an area of continuous improvement. So that, I think, is a very good example. In addition, not too long ago, was actually working for a very major conglomerate in Europe. I'm not sure I can say their name for you at this particular moment, but working across 73 distribution centers, 19 countries, and over 12 lines of business, just by actually mapping out what was good, what was the key objectives, working back from the customer who just wanted one voice, one delivery, and delivery on certain timescales for all products within the group. We were able to move back working with a very strong team as we implemented sales and operations planning to just focus on what that goal should be and how we could achieve it. And once again, we managed to reduce lead times by over half. We improved the profitability significantly. And in addition, we pleased the customer who didn't want 12 deliveries. They wanted one consolidated delivery behind their store or their warehouse as appropriate. And I think that listening to the customer and the whole team working closely together saying, well, how do we do this and how can we make it easier to do and to get right first time, harnessing all of that talent and having that attitude to make it want to happen, that was another significant success.
Well, thank you, Graham, for sharing today.
Thank you, Dustin. Hopefully that was, what you, needed and was valuable for you.